Hi, this is John Roca for Collider. I'm here with two big dudes in different ways, Brian Banks and Tom Shadyac. I'm so excited to meet and talk with both of you. I just watched the movie again for a second time.
Nice.
It's so powerful. Tom, I want to start with you. We know about your story and coming back to direct this film. What was it about this subject, this script, this person that spoke to you, considering all you had gone through yourself? Did you sense a kind of kinship in Brian's journey to be seen again as well?
Well, very much so. It felt like home to me, and the reason is I had changed my home. I had moved from Los Angeles. I come here for business, but I now work and serve in an underprivileged, underserved neighborhood in Memphis, Tennessee, South Memphis. And I had met different versions of Brian, and I fell in love with this community, with these kids pulsing with promise, and also promise that had been robbed from them in one form or another. Right. And Brian and I had been on similar journeys, a kind of death story for each of us, and our own different versions of resurrection. I just love how inspiring he is. This movie, I don't want to do downer movies. I believe the soul always affirms in optimism. And he's a living, walking, breathing metaphor for an optimistic life.
Well, you look at it, people might question, like, why is a comedy director stepping in and take something like this? But if they go back to your films, you always have these powerfully dramatic moments within the comedy. For example, Nutty Professor, when after Sherman is like embarrassed at the club, right, that the way he's fat shamed, you have an ability to. And was it nice for you to flex that muscle fully for a whole movie?
That was really well said, because not a lot of people see that. They just see, the comedy, the laughs. Right. But those laughs are built on drama, on dramatic moments, on getting relationships right, on building the story structure, keeping that taut and proper. And so, this was a chance to say I feel as strongly as I do about, the Bruce Almighty films or Patch Adams. I feel as strongly about that as I do about Brian's story. And I can shift in tone, and I can create an authentic experience for an audience.
Yeah, you certainly did that. Brian, what is it like for you? Man, this journey must be crazy, brother. Like you're watching your whole life all over again. Was it tough to watch it being done and walk these steps again for yourself, even though the goal was ultimately a beneficial goal?
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy to be here in this moment. But it's also a much needed moment to be in. And I'm glad that I am in this space, not just because the film is Brian Banks, but this story is a story of so many people, men, women, young adults, wrongful conviction, being accused and convicted of something that you did not do. That only adds to our list of victims, when we put people behind bars and treat them like animals for something that they didn't do. So I look at myself in this story, this movie, as a message or a lesson, some form of a tool that we can use to gain more insight into one of the many flaws within our judicial system, if not more than just one. But it was a much needed project. It was tough to film, tough to see, tough to watch, but that doesn't compare to what it's going to do in changing our system.
Yeah. What do you both, if I can ask you one last final question, I know we got to wrap up. What do you both want people to walk away from this film feeling or taking home with them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they can watch Brian's life and not be inspired.
Yeah.
If you have any sense of openness to your heart or to your mind, you're going to be inspired by Brian. Mm-hmm. It's the classic story of being crushed into a diamond. He's a gemstone, and he shines. He only shines because he went through a very dark experience and turned it into something. So I think they're going to walk away with a strong, tangible positivity, and then wanting to do something.
Yeah. What I want people to walk away from this is that what I experienced and what I went through, what my family went through, it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. And it's something that we cannot accept within our society. No one deserves to be put behind bars in a cage for something that they didn't do. Yeah. And so I think that we can no longer sweep this type of stuff under the rug and allow it to go unheard, that we have to voice it, we have to make people informed. We have to, if it takes enraging people in order for them to get up off the couch and start making some constructive changes, then let's do that. But the objective is is that no one's son, no one's daughter, no one's mother or father has to experience what I went through.
Yeah, I think one last thing, if I can wrap up here, is you can also pull away from this film. No matter what you're going through, it doesn't mean it'll last. You can find your way out of it, and that's a positive message nowadays, certainly for our society and our world.
Not allowing one moment in time to dictate the duration of your life.
Exactly. You guys, this is a fantastic film. Can't recommend it enough. Thank you for taking the time. John Roca for Collider, Brian Banks, watch this thing. It'll change you.